Hi, welcome to the Driving Instructor Masterclass, brought to you by Marmalade Insurance and myself, Chris Benstead. I've been a driving instructor for over 12 years, and we're going to have a look at elements of driving, things that you'll need to know for your driving tests, looking at things like stalling, manoeuvres, and how to deal with other situations. And to make sure that you're keeping up with the series, subscribe to Marmalade's YouTube channel so that you'll get all of the installations as they're released. This episode, we're going to be having a look at roundabouts. So we're going to be looking at the approach, how to make sure you're communicating what you're doing and looking at your road position to get that accurate, being aware of that traffic around you and then making good decisions and then planning your exit so that you can stay safe and other people will be able to keep out of your way. Roundabouts are just a complex set of junctions all coming together at a central one-way system, a circle which we drive round clockwise. If you can break it down into sections, you can make a roundabout much easier. Firstly, we have the approach. So when you're approaching the roundabout, you need to make sure that you're looking, communicating with the other drivers around you, and planning that route ahead. If you can get your speed right, then the roundabout will work much more easily for you because you'll be more flexible in that situation. We then have 4 different exit strategies depending on where you're going. If you're taking the first exit, it's going to be very much like a T-junction from the perspective that you are checking your centre and your left mirror, you're indicating left, and you're taking that first turn. If you're going straight ahead, then it's similar to a crossroads. You don't signal on the approach, but you will signal when you get to the exit before your exit to tell people, I'm coming off at the next exit. We've then got straight aheads that are past that 12 o'clock point. So anything between 12 and 2 o'clock, you may want to not signal until you get to the exit before yours, as you're going to be taking that right lane, but you don't want to say I'm going all the way round. And then finally, the right turns. So when you're going somewhere between 2 o'clock and all the way back on yourself, you'd signal right on the approach. And that right signal on the approach tells people that you're going round that far. When you get to the exit before yours, you're going to be checking your mirrors, signalling, moving across to the left lane and then coming off. Or if the lanes are marked, you might find there's a spiral effect and you naturally move outwards as you follow those lanes around. What we try to focus on are roundabouts that are standard and not marked, because if you then introduce road markings and follow the road markings, or signs and follow the signs when roads are different, they should explain themselves. We always get roundabouts with local knowledge, but it's best to learn a standard roundabout first. So we're going to go and have a look at some of those roundabouts, doing left turns, straight ahead and right turns, and put them into practice. So as we approach the roundabout to turn left, checking the centre mirror, left mirror and signalling left, the same as a left turn, getting our speed and gear right and looking to the right. If it's clear and there's no traffic coming, then we're just going to join that roundabout, following round immediately for that first exit, and then leaving, checking the rear view mirror as we exit. So let's have a look at right turns. We're going to be signalling right, so we're checking our centre mirror and right mirror, signalling right and positioning in that right hand lane because it's past the 12 o'clock point. There's no traffic coming from the right, so we can just join that roundabout, following it round, keeping in the right lane, past exit 1, get to exit 2, check the centre and left mirror, signal left, moving into the left lane as we exit, and then a good mirror check to make sure we know what's happening around us as we drive away. Often worth a quick glance in that right mirror to see if you've got someone who's trying to overtake or a motorbike coming down on that right hand side. As you drive towards a roundabout, if you look at the roundabout sign and describe to yourself where you're going, we're going straight ahead. So our straight ahead signal is no indicator. As we approach that roundabout, checking our mirrors but not indicating says to other drivers we're going straight. we get past the exit before ours, check our mirrors, signal and leave. Then checking around us again as we exit that roundabout. Now, if we're looking at a road sign where there is no right turn, we may find we have to drive it slightly differently. That we could be in the right-hand lane and going straight ahead because it's the last exit. So no signal on the approach. And then when we come to the exit before our exit, checking our mirrors, signalling left and moving off into that left-hand lane. If there was somebody in our left mirror onto a 2-lane road, we may use the right-hand lane when pulling off, and then when it's safe to do so, move back into that left-hand lane. So turning left at this roundabout, we'll be checking our mirrors and signalling, looking to the right and seeing a car coming. We allow that car to go, looking for the gap behind it, and then we follow that road round and through. The most common collision at roundabouts is rear end. People making an incorrect decision as they go towards it, or having to change their plan, and then stopping when they could have gone. The car behind can then come into the back of you. So making a good decision and making sure your speed is correct on the approach will keep you and other drivers safer, and you won't get pushed out onto that roundabout. So we're going to be turning right at this roundabout, centre and right mirrors, and then signal in that right-hand lane position. We're looking to the right to see if there's any traffic coming around. So we've got cars coming from the right-hand side, allowing that traffic to go and looking for our gap. Now we want a gap in which we can pull away and get up to speed without interfering with that other traffic. It's the next exit, so centre and left mirror, signalling to the left, moving into that left lane and driving away. Checking around us in our mirrors to make sure that we know what's happening around us to keep us and other people safe. So if we want to use a roundabout to go all the way around and come back on ourselves, it's just an extreme right turn. So we check our mirrors, we signal right, we get our speed and gear right on the approach. So as we arrive, we can just keep flowing through if there's no traffic coming from our right. We're telling people we're coming all the way around, so they shouldn't be pulling out in front of us. And then as we get to the exit before ours, we look, tell, and do. So one of the aims with roundabouts is approach speed. If you approach a roundabout planning to go as slowly as you need to, but not stop, you're more likely to make a good decision. If you get there and you can't go, you're going to have to stop. But if we can plan our approach, check mirrors, bring our speed all the way down, and look for that gap to then keep the car moving and maintain that motion through rather than having to do a pull away. So while we're giving way to the traffic from our right, they're also giving way to their right. It's a bit of a pass the parcel. So if you're looking to the right and they are giving way, that other car that's coming across causing them to stop is you're blocking traffic, and that will allow you to go. They create a space. So as the car comes around and they're possibly going off at your junction, they stop the traffic on your right and allow you to go. So as you approach a roundabout, it's important to look at other drivers' position and indicators to know where they're going. They're keeping to the same rules as you are, so trying to understand where they're going is going to help you plan your route. So look at which lane they're in and look at which indicator they are using but also look at the body language of that car. Where does it look like it's going? And that's going to help you with experience of reading those cars, understand your route.